Welcome to Fire Feast and Friends, the show where we cook outdoors all year round, whatever the weather. I'm Ross Anderson, and as usual I'm here with Damien and Pierre.
Yo.
And today we're going to be cooking something a little bit different. We're going to be cooking a picanha.
Oh, Ross, hold on. What's a picanha, mate?
A picanha is a cut of meat that comes from the top of the rump on the animal. So it sits up the top of the butt cheek, and it works quite hard, but classically British butchers take it off, remove all the fat, and use it to strip up and use in things like stir fries, stroganoffs and things like that. But the truth of the matter is it has this incredible fat cap sat on the top, which we don't want to waste, and this is full of flavour. That, Damien, is what a picanha is.
Slap it again.
Okay, so right, look. So this picanha, we're going to cook it in the way that we would cook a steak normally, but a larger steak. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called a reverse sear. We're going to use a Kamado style barbecue today, which is the big green egg. And into that, we've got that sat at a really, really low temperature. So we're sat at about 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. We're going to marinate, or not even marinate, we're going to rub our meat with a little bit of garam masala.
You're going to do what?
We're going to rub our meat, Damien. We are going to rub our meat.
Right, you slapped it, now you're going to rub it.
I've got slapped it. So, but it's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to take some garam masala. I love garam masala, but we're not leaving it on to marinade for hours upon hours upon hours because we're reverse searing. And we're going to take this up until it hits between 48 and 52 degrees centigrade, which is the optimal temperature.
Do you think everyone should have one of them? I don't have one of them.
Yes.
Everyone should have one of
You
those.
100% should have one of these. In fact, I will buy you one for Christmas. I remember going back in the day and my nan turned around and saying, oh, a turkey's 20 minutes per pound and then 40 minutes over at the end. It doesn't work
Is that how
like
your nan taught?
It was, yeah. Exactly how my nan taught, yeah. But no, look, let's get back on track here. We're going to cook this to temperature. But
Get
at
on
that
with it,
end-
stop cooking.
Come on, start cooking, come on.
Fantastic.
We've heard all this before.
Right, guys, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the rump cap, and all we're going to do is we're going to make some small scores just in the top to allow this marinade to penetrate down through the fat as it caramelizes. And then I'm going to take some of the garam masala. I'm just going to massage this in. So I'm just going in then with some good salt. So once we've got our garam masala and our salt onto our picanha, we're going to drop it into the big green egg, fat side down, and it's not making much noise because this is at a really low temperature, remember. So once we've got that in there, we're going to bring this temperature up slowly, as I say. We're sat at 110 degrees centigrade on the barbecue, and we're just going to leave it to do its thing now. While that's cooking, we've got time to start to prepare our accompaniments. So what do we want? To go with our picanha, we're going to slice this picanha ultra thin, really nice thin, and then we're going to serve it with some flatbreads. And flatbreads are such a great, quick and simple thing to do.
Are you basically making a kebab?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wicked.
That's a great thing. It's going to be a posh kebab.
Putting any
It's gonna be
veggies
a kebab.
with that?
Yeah, we are going to put some vegetables with it. Don't we? That was very vegetarian of you. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's cool. So in our bowl, we've got 570 grams of plain flour. To that, we're going to add a teaspoon of teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon and a half of salt. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to add some toasted cumin seed. So I'm going to toss those in as well. And then combine all of my dry ingredients first and foremost. Now our raising agent here is the baking powder. As I say, some recipes call for yeast, some people call for other things. We're using baking powder.
I thought you were making flatbreads.
We are making flatbreads.
Why you would have a raising agent?
Because we want the bubbles to pop up at different areas and give different surface areas and give a little bit of... It's help the bread to rise, yeah?
Swanky kebab.
Yeah, like a kebab. Damien's going to keep going back to kebabs.
Don't give us all the picanha stuff. I'm making a kebab.
So we're going in with 8 tablespoons of natural yogurt. Find someone to wash that up in a bit. We're going to gently bring these together using the yogurt as the binding agent. And what we want to do is, as it starts to form and come together in what we call cake, so that's where it starts to clump together, we're going to gradually add our water. Now this needs to be a workable dough, okay? We're not using bread flour or strong flour. We just want to bring it together enough so as it works. And there's a point where you have to give up with a spoon and go in with your hands.
I have to say I hate making dough by hand for that reason. You get that?
What do we reckon? I reckon Pierre's got a KitchenAid or
I
something
use a
like
KitchenAid.
that. Of course he does. Okay, so now our dough's starting to come together. Can you see that in there? But it's starting to come clean away from the sides of the bowls. Once we bring that together, we can bring it out and put it on our board. And now what we're going to do is just gently knead this together. So we've got this lovely little dough now, sat ready to go. We're going to put that to one side to rest, and we're just going to leave that to do its own thing. And then when we're ready to serve later on, we're going to cut this down into about 12 different individual things and make little miniature flatbreads or naan breads. Right, so next thing we want to do is for our kebab, as Damien has christened it, to go along with our picanha and our other elements. I wanted to add some veggies in there, yeah? And I love fennel. A lot of people don't like it. It's a bit of a Marmite veg.
Sure, isn't it a bit? It's a bit aniseedy. Isn't
Aniseedy,
it?
yeah, a little bit fun. But we're going to change that about today.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to char this down and then we're going to pickle it. We're going to do like a live fire pickle. Chop it really, really finely. And then that'll add that acidity so you've got the fattiness of the beef,
Doesn't
the
pickling
naan.
take ages?
No, it really doesn't. We've got plenty of time, trust me. Our fennel's sitting and caramelising nicely on the side here. Now I'm not looking at taking this down so it's all mushy and soft. I still want that crisp bite to it. But what I'm trying to get is this bit of caramelisation and char on the outside to start this flavour. And it's taking the flavour from this smoke as it's coming across. Damien mentioned earlier about pickling and have we got time? You presume that pickling takes months upon months upon months. And yeah, fair enough, your nan's pickled onions might be like that. But you can do a fast pickle, there's nothing wrong with that. And what I love about pickling is it adds so many different layers and flavours to what we're doing. So we're going to have a little bit of acidity, we're going to have some sweetness in there, we're going to have saltiness, and we're going to do this dead simple. All we're literally going to do is we're going to take some white wine vinegar, we're going to go sugar, so there's our sweets, there's our sour, we're going to have a good pinch of salt. I don't want to overcomplicate it, I want this to be the flavour of the fennel, with this light pickle in the background. It's balancing that salty, that sweet, that savoury sort of elements. And we can create that by just using those simple 3 ingredients. Now I'm going to bring that to the boil whilst this is caramelising. And you can see that we're already starting to get some char on there.
If you don't have one
Difficult.
of these ridiculous things, you could just do it on a frying pan.
Did you just refer to my Ophir as a ridiculous thing?
You could do that on a frying pan and on a barbecue or
Yeah,
on a
of course you
fire.
can. So you could do exactly the same as this if you had a kettle barbecue, you know, but you could be doing this live straight over the fire. There's nothing wrong with that. What you've got to do is be versatile enough to be able to adapt to your barbecue. You could have a simple fire pit sat there with a grate on it. There is nothing wrong with that. I think we get a little bit too hung up nowadays with buying the most biggest, expensive, most incredible barbecues. And yeah, there are some amazing barbecues. Like here.
So are you saying I've wasted my money? You told me to buy it. No. You sold it to me.
So we're not wasting money, but what I'm saying is not everybody's bank balance stretches quite as far. And it's just starting to soften and droop, so I'm going to take it off now, actually. It's perfect. And we're going to chop this down and through. You know, we've done quite a lot here, I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to keep it nice and fine. You can smell it's got a bit of that smoke coming through it. Got to make sure we've got enough for our kebabs.
We're calling them kebabs now, are we?
You two have said we are. What we're going to do is we're going to take our boiling pickling liquor and we're going to add this to while it's red hot, okay? So it's almost semi-cooking it. Plenty there.
Oh, I can smell that from over here.
Yeah. Now, there's one other thing I want to add to this to turn it into the quintessential kebab, we'll say now. Some fresh mint. You know when you get that minted cabbage type thing when you go into the kebab house? A bit of roughly chopped mint in there. And our stalks from our fennel. You can feel a dough when it's done right. It just feels nice and easy and supple and elasticated. And the gluten now is nice and relaxed. So when you start to stretch it out, you can see that it comes out. And we don't need a rolling pin here. And we're going to go straight on with no oil onto the Ophir.
Can we have a go?
Yeah, of course you can.
Like that? Is it like
Is that
that?
about right?
Look at that, like a professional. Right, before you put the last one on, Pierre, you want to lay that just along that face of the log there. Don't look worried. Go on, be brave, be brave. There we go, fantastic. Now we're cooking dirty.
Dirty, that's dirty cooking, yeah?
It is, yeah.
It's scary as well.
It is a little bit scary,
But
a bit
actually,
daunting.
do you know what? It's not as hot as you think it's going to be when you...
No. You remember wrapping bread round sticks when you were a cub?
No, I was never a cub.
You were never a cub. A little bit of butter. I like it how you both dart behind the cameras when it's time to clean up all the mess. Okay, flatbreads are cooked. Let's have a look at this picanha. Now I've already checked the temperature on this, and I know that it's hit 48 to 52 in the different parts, but we've tested all the way over the picanha. As you can see, it's a piece of meat. It's pretty incredible. It still feels quite rare though, which is what we're looking for, because we've got a final cook, but the flavour and the smell that's coming off this now. Now when you're working with a Kamado style barbecue, something like the Big Green Egg, there are so many different ways of using it. It's the one-stop shop for a barbecue, realistically, and it's very, very good. That doesn't mean you can't do this in other barbecues like a kettle or things like the Ophir and fire pits and things like that. But what we're going to do now is oxygen is what we're looking for to create the heat inside the Big Green Egg. So we're going to open it right up, top and bottom vents, and we're going to remove the inside. So we're going to take out all of the indirect plates, the grates and everything, and leave just the glowing coals in the bottom. So the egg's now up to about 300 degrees centigrade. She is pretty hot. We're going to take up a picanha and carefully, right in the centre, nestle it in.
That's mental.
It's cool, yeah?
Yeah.
And we're going to close it down. There we go. Now, I'm pretty confident with that. Look at that. I just want to do a few last things. Our flatbreads are over here on the Ophir.
That is amazing.
Boys are getting excited and hungry. So what we're now going to do is I just want to take some, and this is amazing me at the moment because a good friend of mine who has the most incredible organic farm down in Padstow is still producing Padron peppers, and it amazed me. I saw on his Instagram post, Ross Geach, his name is, at Padstow Kitchen Garden, and he produces some of the most incredible veg on the cliff tops up in Padstow, and they're still bringing out Padron peppers. So I've got some Padron peppers here.
Why is that amazing? Because of the time of the year?
Time of year. As I say, these should not be in season now. And these are going to go over and onto the Ophir. And a Padron pepper, if you've never had one, are absolutely incredible. I'm going to get some salt on there. Oh, lost one. It's pretty good. Chili sauce.
Gorgeous.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm actually.
He's always hungry.
Patron. Should I try Patron?
So good.
Bon?
Bon.
Righto. Just get in there. Get some of that.
And what's incredible,
And that anistiness, you won't get it now.
it's still there. But when you,
It's not overpowering.
this is why I didn't want to call it a kebab. So much more, but it is a kebab at the end of the day. But I think what's really
Lovely
nice,
combo, and you're right. The fennel just gives us that crunchy, pickly.
but taking such a underused, understated cut of meat like a picanha,
That meat is so
and
tender.
doing with it. Yeah.
That is really special.
That is really special. Yeah, and that's, oh mate, outdone yourself. Yet again, Rossi boy.
But it's an easy dish. It's simple. Right guys, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, don't forget, make sure you like, share and subscribe. Drop any comments down below if you'd like to comment on something you've seen, and hit the little bell to get further notifications on what we're cooking next. We'll see you next time. What better thing to sit by the fire and chill out? Couple of beers with mates. Chilling.
Superb.
And I love it how Pierre's going back for the chili sauce.